The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. My name is Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, alongside here for just a little bit. Then we're going to turn it over to our Throwback Thursday crew and bring back some interviews from the last 4 or 5 years. I want to apologize this morning, because apparently I had a flashback to working for either one of the last two employers that I had at the radio station, as I forgot to turn on my microphone. So, folks that tuned in this morning and you couldn't hear me, it was my fault, 100% my fault. So, forgive me. Hey, today is April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. 272 days remain until the end of the year. We'll run through just some high school scores from last night, Wednesday night, and maybe talk a little bit about some of the cancellations that have occurred today. For example, I know the Red and Blue Tournament, which features schools out of the Kansas City area and the surrounding Missouri, as well as the Springfield area schools, has been canceled for this entire season. Visited with Coach Hauser earlier today, and they've decided to just whack it and move on. They're going to have to be finding some games somewhere here that will cost them a few games on the 36-game schedule that they are allowed to play. First off, want to remind you that High School Game Day is brought to you by RBW Agricultural Farm Equipment Sales, home of the Rancher Hydraulic Cattle Baron, Heritage and Legacy Cattle Chutes. RB Agricultural carries curated lines of livestock handling equipment and in-loader attachments, and is the number one dealer for Ironcraft Flex-Wing rotary cutters in the USA. Hey, RBW cares about not only the safety of their customers, but their livestock, and bringing efficient equipment to the market, making high-quality equipment affordable for more farmers and ranchers, and the integrity of the words and conduct that they say and use. Find them in Bolivar and in Moberly and at rbwag.com. On the baseball scoreboard from last night, it was Adrian over Sherwood 8-3. Christ Prep out of Lenexa, Kansas defeats Barstow 14-2. Blue Springs over Lee Summit North 5-1. St. Pius X, Kansas City 14. Cameron 1. Carl Junction defeats Seneca 8-6. Halfway defeats Crestridge 14-4. Was Park Hill over Excelsior Springs 13-0. Hannibal shuts out Ellsbury 14-0. Harrisonville over Holden 14-11. Battle over Helias 5-3. Was Columbia Hickman over Capital City 5-3. East Kansas City defeats J.C. Harmon out of Kansas City, Kansas 13-6. It was Blue Springs over Lee Summit North 5-1. Stately defeats Lee Summit West 3-1. Bolivar over Monette 8-6. Nixa defeats Republic 10-0. Nixa now 12-1 on the season. Pierce City over Southwest at Washburn 15-5. Ray-Pec defeats Rockhurst 14-3. Raytown over Ruskin 13-3. Savannah defeats St. Joe Lafayette 6-3. Springfield Catholic shuts out Branson 2-0. It was St. Pius X out of Kansas City 14-1 over Cameron. Lindbergh defeats Troy Buchanan 3-2. Truman over Green Valley 6-5. Vienna defeats Plato 12-2. It was West Platte over North Andrew 11-2. And Platte County defeats William Chrisman 16-3. Those are your high school baseball scores from last night, brought to you by Bambino's Italian Cafe on East Battlefield in Lone Pine. Join us every Monday throughout the sports athletic season in Southwest Missouri for the quarterback club, tip-off club, and currently the leadoff club. Doors open at 11 o'clock. Food is prepared and ready by 11:15, 11:30, and coaches speak at noon. This past Monday, we had 10 coaches, 4 college coaches, and 6 high school coaches all in attendance. Great time at Bambino's Italian Cafe and great food. On the girls' soccer scoreboard from last night, it was Blair Oaks over Sacred Heart 2-0. St. Teresa's Academy defeats Blue Valley Northwest out of Overland Park, Kansas 3-1. It was Elias over Capital City 3-1. Glendale shuts out Carthage 4-0. Hillcrest blanks McDonald County 5-0. Liberty North over Blue Springs 5-3. Van Horn over Lincoln College Prep 3-0. Mexico over Kirksville 2-1. Mid Buchanan defeats Ewing Kaufman 8-0. And St. Pius X over Cameron 8-0 on the softball scoreboard. Arrowhead Sports Cards right there behind or across from Bass Pro there on Sunshine. Arrowhead Sports Cards bring you the softball scoreboard. And just one score on the docket from last night that I could find, and that was Crestridge over Midway 25-10. All right, we will step away. We'll be right back after these short commercials, and we'll run through a little on this day in history.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life. Great Southern.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. Going to come alongside, and hopefully you can hear me. After recording that show this morning, went in and went back to listen to it, sitting at the barbershop, and no audio. So thought something was wrong with my phone and rushed back here to the studio to find out that I had my mic muted. So yes, hey, make a mistake. Hey, I need you to do me a favor. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe at Missouri Sports Network on YouTube. Go to our Facebook page and like us and follow us on Twitter at Missouri_sports and at Scoreboard Guy. And hey, you'll be the smartest fan in the stands. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. A little Great Southern Bank on this day in history. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC. On this date, 1908, Frank Gotch wins the World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship in 2 hours. And on this date, 1923, 2 of the members of the Black Sox sue the Chicago White Sox unsuccessfully for back salary that they lost in the 1919 season. On this date, 1930, Montreal Canadiens versus the Boston Bruins in the Stanley Cup Final at Montreal Forum in Montreal, Quebec. Montreal Canadiens beat Boston Bruins 4-3 for a 2-0 series sweep in their 3rd championship. In 1955, the Baltimore Orioles pulled their first triple play with a 3-6-2 versus the Kansas City Athletics. And on this date, 1962, American jockey Eddie Arcaro retires after 31 years and over 24,000 races. On this date, 1966, Tom Seaver signs with the New York Mets for a reported $50,000 signing bonus. And on this date, 1975, Bobby Fischer is stripped of his world chess title for refusing to defend it. The title is awarded to Russian Anatoly Karpov. And in 1976, 130th Grand National, John Burke wins aboard Ragged Trade, equal record 4th winner traded by Fred Rimmel and 2nd winner owned by Pierre Raymond Basson. In 1976, the Philadelphia Flyers win a record 20th straight NHL home game. And on this date in 1983, the second NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, as USC defeats Louisiana Tech 69-67. And your most outstanding player for that tournament was forward Cheryl Miller. On this date in 1988, Mario Lemieux wins NHL scoring title, which ended Wayne Gretzky's 7-year streak to that title. And in 1991, on this date, Bo Jackson signs a 1-year contract with the Chicago White Sox. Also on this date in history, the 57th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship as UCLA defeats Arkansas 89-78. That is the Bruins' 11th national title. On this date in 2006, Steve Yzerman scores his final NHL goal at number 692 against the Calgary Flames. Also on this date in history, the 40th annual NCAA Women's Basketball Championship in 2022, Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota. South Carolina Gamecocks defeat the UConn Huskies 64-49 to win their second NCAA national title. Aliyah Boston is the most outstanding player from South Carolina. Also, little local flavor. On this date in 1934, Jack Weldon Israel was born in Springfield, Missouri. He was an American basketball player who was drafted by the New York Knicks in the 14th round of the 1959 NBA draft out of Southwest Missouri State. He attended the University of Missouri his freshman year, which was 1951-52 season, before joining the Navy. After his military commitment, he returned to Springfield and finished his college basketball career at Southwest Missouri. In his post-basketball career, he became a teacher, a coach, a counselor, an assistant principal, an assistant superintendent, a superintendent, and a college professor. Born on this date in 1934, Jack Israel unfortunately passed away on September 17th at 2017 at the age of 83. Coming up here after the break, we'll do a little Throwback Thursday and visit with Jackson volleyball coach David Murley, also athlete of the week from years gone past from Camdenton, Bear Shore. Ramon Green, an athlete of the week from Nixa. Cameron Harris from Parkview football. Xavier Arambula from Mid-Buchanan football. Quinn Renfro from Joplin football, all these back 4 years ago. And we will also visit with Cassidy Hambleton from Dora basketball as well. So a little volleyball, basketball, and football all in our Throwback Thursdays right after this commercial from the Missouri Sports Network.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State Campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports.
One. Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tuned in. And as always, Great Southern Bank, Labor's Local 663, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Going out to the eastern part of the state, talk a little volleyball with Jackson Lady Indians volleyball coach and head coach David Murley. And Coach Murley, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, just a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You bet. Guys are 13-4-2 on the season. You've got Hillsboro, I believe, coming up this evening, but a huge tournament coming up this weekend. But first, let's talk about your team. 13-4, you're off to a great start. Tell us a little bit about the Lady Indians.
Well, we have a very young team this year. There's one rotation where I've got a freshman, a junior, and all the rest are sophomores. I do play 2 seniors. One plays only in the front row and the other plays only in the back row. So just about most of the time, we only have one senior or none on the court. So we do have a lot of talent, and I'm very excited about the talent that we have. Sometimes it looks like we are quite young on the court, and because we kind of almost are a JV team, but then at other times our talent really shines through, and we kind of show the potential of what we can be. So it's in the end, we've played really well this year so far, but at times our youth shows, and at times our talent shows.
But kind of handicap your area for the viewers and listeners that may not be familiar. What conference do you play in? Kind of handicap that a little bit in your classification.
Yeah, we're in Southeast Missouri. So, Southeast Missouri has been a powerhouse in volleyball in especially the small school area. Advance has won the last 3 state championships, and they're actually the only team to beat us in the last 3 years at home. They beat us twice. So, it's been it's been awesome for such a small school to compete and knock off everybody, even us in Class 5. So they're just down the road. We actually play them on Thursday. Arcadia Valley has been to the Final Four a couple years ago, 2 years in a row. Valley Catholic, we played them the other night. Coach Fisher has over 800 wins now, and she's been to the Final Four so many times I can't even count. Well, they got second state last year. Who else we got? Bernie's had a great, strong tradition. Bell City, Scott City's been phenomenal in the past. So all them schools are teams that we play in our area. That doesn't take very long to get to. And we compete in the SEMO Volleyball Conference, which has 10 teams. We break it down into 2 divisions, large school and small school. And Jackson, Notre Dame, Cape, Poplar Bluff, and Sykeston are in the large school conference.
Again, we're visiting with David Murley, the head coach at Jackson Lady Indians volleyball. 13-4, you've got this tournament coming in, and that kind of caught my eye as I was looking through it. You got a lot of great teams coming into your tournament. Kind of give us the breakdown there when it's going to get tipped off, so to speak, and how can folks kind of follow along outside of maybe being on campus? Is there any other way to follow along?
Yeah, we're really excited about this tournament this weekend. We have teams from out of the area. We have some strong teams from inside our area. Everyone's really excited because you're going to be playing against teams you don't normally play against. We got Jeff City Helias Catholic coming all the way from Jeff City. They won it last year, and I know they're going to have a very, very strong team. They're probably the favorites to win it. But with Lindbergh and Nairnix Hall, I've seen both of them play this year already, and they both have solid teams that could easily compete and win this tournament. Melville, Lesterville, and Farmington. Lesterville got second in state last year, and they're from Southeast Missouri. Farmington, we played last night, and they have a lot of talent also. And then Valley Catholic, who I mentioned with Coach Fisher, she's bringing a really, really strong team. They've only lost like 3 or 4 games this year. Advance is back in it too. So 12 total teams. It's when I tried to seed it, I seeded us as high as 3 and as low as 8 out of 12. So it was just kind of a mess trying to seed it and put it all together. So we got 4 pool play games, and we're going to kind of let each team decide where they should be at in the bracket.
Yeah, you say you see yourself from 3rd to 8th, but I would imagine in both those seedings you had the same numbers 1 and 2.
Yeah, Jeff City Helias Catholic was number 1 in all of my seedings. They're pretty solid, with Lindbergh and Nairnix right up there at the top too. But all the rest of us, we get a chance to play those big schools from out of the area, and they're all excited. Valley's excited about their schedule. Everyone's excited about their schedule because it's somebody that they don't normally play.
Kind of handicap, the district that you're in. When do districts get started? I know you're still a little ways off, but you're probably I would say you're in the, probably last third of your season right now. I know you've got Fox, Northwest Cedar Hill, who both have, Northwest Cedar Hills has a really good record, but Poplar Bluff and Seckman in there as well. Kind of handicap that district. And do you get an opportunity to see those other teams in your district?
Yeah, our district just formed last year when they went to 5 classes. So we don't play anyone in our district except for Bluff, which really makes the seeding hard to do. All we have is a few common opponents. So hopefully in the future we can change that and get Northwest and Seckman and Fox on our regular schedule. But that tournament's really up for grabs. Bluff's a little bit down this year, but their coach just had a baby and she just came back not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, and they started winning a few more games. So they're going to be tough outs. All I know about Fox is they lost to Cape the other night. But Fox, I know all those girls play club and they're tough. I did get to watch Northwest and Seckman play in the Dig for Life tournament, and I was extremely impressed with both of them schools. We played Northwest last year in the district championship game, and she had a couple seniors on the court, and she had some really young players, a sophomore middle and a freshman libero. And they're, of course, back and playing really strong, and their record's really good. So, it really is up for grabs. Whatever team comes out and plays the best. The districts start this year on the week earlier than normal. The first round will be on Thursday, and then Friday, and then the following Monday.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned a little bit about club volleyball there. Here in this area in Southwest Missouri, club has really blown up here over the past 5 to 6 years. You've seen teams like a Nixa, like a Willard, a Kickapoo, even a Republic, teams that have really benefited from that club play. How important is that in your area?
Club is really growing just about everywhere in the state of Missouri. And there's good things that go with club. It provides them with an opportunity to play in the off season. It provides them with an opportunity to break away from their teammates at their school and play with kids from other schools, which is great positive things. It seems like every time our game ends, no matter who we play, there's all of a sudden 4 or 5 or 6 girls, maybe some Jackson girls and some girls from the other school all taking a picture. And I'm looking at them like, oh yeah, that's right. They must all be on the same club team. So it's good that they're building those relationships with other people. I always encourage my athletes to always play multiple sports. So, I hope even though they do play club, that they're still playing basketball and they're still playing running track or soccer or something else also. So, that's one thing that club, some girls turn it into completely year round, which, it just has some negative effects also, even though it is providing them with an excellent opportunity to play volleyball a lot.
Visiting once again with David Murley, the head volleyball coach at Jackson High School. And Coach, just for the viewers, just a little bit about your background. How long have you been at Jackson? Where did you come from? Where'd you go to high school? And how'd you get involved in coaching volleyball?
Yeah, it was a fun ride for me in high school, or as a head coach. I graduated from Jackson in '94, and then decided I wanted to go into education. So I took the first job I could. I applied down at New Madrid County Central, which is about an hour south of Jackson, and they hired me down there, which was a great thing for me because all I wanted to do was be a head boys basketball coach. And I get down there and I'm the assistant coach for Coach Lennox McFerrin. And I was there for 2 years, the 2 years that he won a state championship.
Nice. Good timing.
Sidelines, I was helping him. I was cherish those moments, still talk to him and Coach Mack Jr., still run into some of the players that we won state with. So it was a great time. Chaffee offered me the head coaching position after a couple of years. And I coached head boys basketball coach there for a couple of years. And I moved on to Woodland for a couple of years. When I was at Chaffee, my second year there, I was a head volleyball coach. Then I went to Woodland for 4 just as the basketball coach. And then I went to Perryville as an assistant basketball coach and the head volleyball coach. And that's really where volleyball took off for me, because just had a lot of success at Perryville and stayed there for 10 years, did really well, took a team to the Final Four. And then my oldest was going to be a freshman at Jackson. And I was really I knew I was going to be missing a lot of his stuff. He was going to be a soccer player at Jackson. My other kid, I got 4 kids. So it just made me to apply for the Jackson position when it came open. So this is my 5th year at Jackson. Couldn't be happier. Loved my time at Perryville. Still have great connections with a lot of people up there, basically everybody up there. But just for my family, it was a great move for me to come to Jackson.
Outstanding. Well, Coach Burley, we certainly appreciate you being generous with your time here today. I know it's the middle of a school day, but here at the Missouri Sports Network, we try and spread the love out as much as we can, get across the state. And, it's a lot of fun for me to be able to connect with someone like you. And I really appreciate you being generous with your time today.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Loved it. Anytime I can talk about volleyball, I love it.
You bet. You're listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, powered by KICK 92.3. And we'll be.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hello again, sports fans, and welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio, and as always, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Shelter Insurance, Liuna Laborers Local 663, Building Missouri, and Building Missouri State, and the Bank of Billings. Well, we welcome you into another high school game day here episode as we travel up to Lakerland, home of the Camden Lakers, and head coach Jeff Shore. Coach Shore, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Coach, I tell you what, this is a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week segment here presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. It is not something that I pick, the winners, that they're voted on and sent to me. And Bear, the young man sitting next to you, was voted a couple of weeks ago, and then again. But tell us a little bit about Bear and what he does for the Lakers.
Well, he's number one. He's my son, so that's a good thing for me. but on the side, he plays a little quarterback for the Lakers. So he's had a great year for us this year. He's had a tremendous year, thrown 23 touchdown passes or so, and on 3 interceptions, around 1,700 yards, and rushed for another 700 plus yards. So. He's had a big year, done a really good job, and I'm proud of him as a player. I'm also proud of him as a son. So that's quite an honor for him to get voted for that, and I know he appreciates it. He'll talk to you in a second about it, but that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah. And they used to hand these out. They were called the Coca-Cola Athletes of the Week. Did you ever receive one of those?
Actually, yes, I think I did. That's been a long time ago, though, Guy. Long time ago. But yeah, I think I did actually.
But. We welcome to the show Bear Shore. Bear, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being named the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you very much. That's a great honor, and that's just awesome. Thank you, guys.
Well, Bear, tell us a little bit about the season from your point of view. I've been fortunate to see a lot of games and hear a lot of games with the way Camdenton promotes, whether it be video, audio. So I kind of check in. I may have 100 games going on, but I always check in on Camdenton. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts of your season.
So yeah, in years prior, I feel like we've fallen short of some of our goals that we wanted to achieve, but this year I feel like we've learned to adapt a lot. We've implemented a little more run than we have in the past, and those have really helped. That has really helped us win some ball games, and I feel like we've done a really good job at taking what the defense has given us and playing together. All our guys are really unselfish. The line has been doing a great job. Our receivers do a great job blocking, downfield, catching. It's all around been a really unselfish team, and everybody's playing for each other. So it's been a great year so far.
Bear, tell us a little bit about kind of what you do to get prepared. I know this is Thursday. You're preparing for a very common foe on Friday night, a rematch. What are you doing to kind of get prepared for the game?
My dad and I will a lot of times sit down and watch some film and kind of see what they're giving us on defense and look, a lot of recovery during the week, a lot of mental work, kind of running through some plays, visualizing how I want to throw the ball or how I want to run the ball, and just kind of thinking about it through the week, because it's such an awesome opportunity, to get to play on Friday nights in front of thousands of people. So it's it's something I don't take for granted. And so I definitely look forward to it and try to get myself mentally and physically prepared throughout the week.
Now, if you could go back, if the 2022 Bear Short could go back to that 2018 freshman and give yourself some advice, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say, don't take it too serious, because at the end of the day, it's just a game, and it's really an awesome opportunity to get to play with some of my lifelong friends. And I've really come to realize that, now nearing the end of the season of my senior year, I'm not going to get to play with a lot of these guys again. And a lot of the guys on the team are my best friends, lifelong friends. And so I would just say, have fun and truly understand the situation you're in. What a cool opportunity it is to get to play with friends, because outside of this, it's very limited. So.
And Bear, what do you feel like right now going into this week 12? What do you feel like right now you and the Lakers are doing really well?
I think we've stuck together. We took one on the chin against Glendale, but we bounced back, and we really haven't looked back on that. We're just looking forward to Lebanon. We played them. We know we have the ability to beat them. They're a really good team. So, we know we're going to have to play a really good ball game, because they're going to come in fired up. But we're planning to go out there, come out fired up as well. And we're just going to play together, and we're excited. So.
And once again, Bear, on behalf of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations for being named an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you. That's a great honor. Thank you.
You bet. Coach, tomorrow night, there's not really any secrets. You guys have played each other a number of times. How do you get prepared for a team that you already know what they're going to do? Is it more mental, physical? And you've already beat them once, so you get them at home. That's got to be a great advantage.
And to your point, this would be the fourth time we played them in 2 years. So, they know us. We hopefully know them. They're a really good ball club. We played really well the first game and had some things go our way. Every new ball game's a new ball game. It's just a game. You got to go out there and play it, and hopefully we can play clean, no penalties, no turnovers, and give ourselves a chance. And if we can do that, then we're in the ball game. I think it'll come down to what all big games come down to, which is turnovers, penalties, big plays. I think both are really good teams, and I think both teams have a shot. Whoever wins it to move on and still make some more noise. So be a big ball game. We're looking forward to it, and it's a privilege you get to play it. It's a privilege you get to play this time of year. You're down to 16 teams left in our class in the state, so it's just a lot of fun. It beats the alternative of not playing, that's for sure. So it'll be super exciting. We do have them at home, which is nice. It's always good to be here. And so, like Bear said, we're just looking forward to playing a football game.
What's one stat? If I get up or when I see the score Friday night, if Camdenton is going to win this game, what's one stat that you're going to point at and say that's why we won it?
Well, I'm going to give you two instead of one. One will be turnovers, those kind of things. And I think the other one would be maybe time of possession. Their strength is really possessing the football, and that obviously keeps your ability to score on the sidelines. So if we can limit their time possession and give ourselves a little more chance there, I think turnovers and time possession will be the two things that are pretty important, pretty telling in the ball game.
Going into this game, I know it's you're 12 weeks into it, so there's always going to be bumps and bruises. But outside of that, are you relatively healthy?
Yeah, for the most part, we've like you said, we've got the normal bumps and bruises. We got some guys really toughing it out and playing that are hurt, and those kind of things. But I think that's the way it is with every team this time of year. So I think over the large view of it, I think we're pretty healthy actually.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, I certainly appreciate you guys being generous with your time, and Bear, again, congratulations and best of luck tomorrow night, and go get a victory, and we'll get you on again.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Hello again, sports fans, and welcome to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad that you've tuned in. We're live from the Pizza Ranch studio here. Pizza Ranch with 7 locations across the state of Missouri. They are the Monday host of the Quarterback Club, as well as the tip-off clubs coming up on Monday and Wednesday for the women, and then around the state we will travel. Presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, the Missouri State Highway Patrol, the Bank of Billings, Shelter Insurance, and Great Southern Bank. And we go to Nixa High School now, home of the Eagles, and head coach John Perry. Coach Perry, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us on.
Coach, you got a guy sitting there to your right. I'm assuming that's your right. I don't know. The camera kind of turns things around. But Ramon Green, who probably could have been a athlete of the week every week with regards to the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. But tell us a little bit about this young man and what makes him special.
Well, number one is the type of he is. He's a leader. He's, extremely kind. He's extremely good to his teammates, and going to be a extremely successful person and foremost. And then the flip side of that is the good Lord did bless him with talent that, he has worked really hard to bring to the fore. We are blessed to have him on our team, and without him Friday night playing again. So, we are very grateful.
And Coach, you mentioned to me when you got this job, and it may have been off the air, but we had you on and you talked about, if you've got a roster of 115 kids, that number 115 knows who he is, and that number 1 knows who he is. And if that number 115 thinks he's the best friend of that number 1, that makes a team. And you said that you kind of alluded at the quarterback club that that's the kind of kid that Ramon Green is.
If you take whoever you would consider as your least talented kid, ask him, what are your feelings about Ramon Green? And if he don't like him, if we're not all together and all pulling for each other, but I'll guarantee you, if you go down and ask that guy what he thinks, he's going to say similar to, what I'm going to say, that he's a really good guy, works hard, and gives us everything. That's part of the reason why we've been so successful.
Coach, tell us a little bit about the game that Ramon had Friday night in that district semifinal. He had to carry the ball a lot of times with the weather like it was. It was a late start. Tell us about his impact on the game.
Well, he would probably have to tote it 35 times, and he actually toted it over 40 times. Hours, it was raining. It was, it was a messy night. But I think in 3 years of toting the football, he's fumbled one time. So we wasn't worried about that. We thought it was, be played in the rain, and he toted it over 40 times to holding calls. But he had a fantastic night, and Ramon has gotten him so really good shape. And the farther we play, the better he gets. And as you eat, and you can run out the clock the last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game. That is absolutely what we're able to do.
Ramon, first off, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, the Missouri State Highway Patrol, and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations on being named Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Now, Ramon, from your standpoint, Coach talked about you carried it 40 times, over 40 times. Tell us a little bit about what was going through your mind, and did you realize that you were getting that many carries?
I knew that it was going to be wet and rainy, and we were going to get delayed. So my mind was just, but I knew that for us to be successful in that game, the way it was raining, though, I really just focused on ball security and stuff like that. And so I'm proud that we're able to stay focused. It's hard playing at 9:30. Halftime's almost at let body sometimes, but we stayed focused and we got the win.
Ramon, I had probably 4 years ago, had a young man who carried it 44 times, was named an athlete of the week. And I asked him, how hard is that on your body? And he said, well, the ball ain't heavy. It's not like it's heavy. And I'll never forget that. But tell us a little bit about what you went through the next day, just kind of recovering after getting done at midnight.
It was a little bit different, came that much later than usual, but I was fine. Usually after games like that, I do a little recovery workout and we get back to it on Sunday. So I'm this.
Do you have, and you don't have to tell me, but do you have like a favorite play when it comes into the huddle? Do your eyes light up thinking, hey, this is one I might be able to break?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Are you lobbying Coach Perry on the sideline? Hey, let's call this. Let's run this.
Set up things. So I was just waiting for him to come.
And Ramon, again, we're visiting with Ramon Green, our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week. Ramon, if you could go back to that Ramon Green who's as a freshman and give yourself some advice, what advice would you give yourself your freshman year?
I would mostly just say just hang on. My freshman year, I was pretty frustrated just because I felt like as a freshman, I knew it wasn't really my time then. I had to get bigger and stronger and faster. So just there and trusting the process, I would tell myself that.
But again, we're visiting with next high school football coach, John Perry. And Coach Perry, you've got a big game coming up, a district championship that'll put you into the semifinals here on Friday night with a very good Lee Summit North team. What are you going to have to do to come out on top?
Man, we're excited for the opportunity. I checked, and it actually said it's going to be Eagle weather Friday night, so I figure that plays into advantage. Man, we're just excited. We got to do the thing we've been doing. We got to take care of the football. I mean, turnover battle wins the game the majority of the time. So we're going to take care of the football. We're going to run the football. Offense, be good on special teams, and hopefully come out with one more point than they have.
Well, Coach, again, thank you so much for setting this up. And I know you guys are at school, and there's a lot going on and a lot of excitement down at Nixa with football season and the playoffs, and you guys being the one seed in your district, and basketball around the corner, and the holidays coming up as well. But Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and best of luck, and we'll be rooting for you Friday night.
Thank you very much. The Highway Patrol honoring him, for the plastic job, very much appreciated. Thank you much.
All right, you guys have a great day. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, sports fans, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network here, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Welcome to high school game day, live from the Pizza Ranch studio, and sponsored as always by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Stoke Propane, Great Southern Bank, Liuna, Labor's Local 663, and the Bank of Billings, along with Fairhaven, the cottages at Fairhaven down on the lake, and Burgess and Associates for all your retirement needs. We go now down south into Springfield, new record holder at Parkview High School, and we go to high school football coach Ben Daugherty. And Coach, first off, congratulations on getting a big win.
Thank you, Guy. I really appreciate it. The kids have been working hard for a long time to get to that point, and to finally have it culminate in a victory. I know meant a lot to me and a lot to the kids last Friday night for sure.
And you've got our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Athlete of the Week, sitting alongside. Tell us a little bit about Cameron. Cameron Harris, 356 yards and 4 touchdowns, a new school record for yardage. Tell us a bit about what makes this young man special.
I mean, he's a hard worker, Guy. I mean, like we've I've been here for 12 years at Parkview now, and I've seen some some really special running backs come through here, guys like Cole Jenkins, Anthony Riley, Blake De La Cruz, and they all felt like they had their own unique style of running, and Cameron's no different. He's another in a long line of great running backs here at Parkview. If you watch him, he's kind of a combination of some of those guys where he's got the speed to break away in the open field. But if you watch for some of, his runs on Friday night, just the balance that he's able to keep when running the ball and stay on his feet, spinning out of tackles. I mean, it's second to none, from as far as I've seen around here. And he just, I know he'd be the first to credit our offensive line for helping him get, all those yards. But, he had a huge night. We were able to have him carry us to victory on Friday night. And he had a great game.
Cameron, first off, congratulations on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, the Missouri State Highway Patrol, and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks for being named Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Cameron, tell us a little bit about, and it had to be even more special to do it against the rival, the Grant Street rivalry, I guess is what that's being referred to now, Hillcrest Hornets. Tell us about the night and how special it was to you.
It was pretty amazing. Me and my seniors, we haven't won, so we've been working hard for this all my 4 years. And when we won, it felt amazing, especially after what I did. And the O-line, they worked very hard for this too. They blocked really good this game. And when I went to the locker room, they were chanting MVP, and it felt really, really great to me.
Cameron, tell us just a little bit about the night. Do you have, was it the play calling, or were you lobbying Coach, when you get to the sideline, hey, call this is going to work. I can break one here. Do you have a favorite play? You don't have to tell me what it is, but, were you lobbying for some plays?
Yeah, I like to run up the middle so I can, break away and run full speed and get a full head of steam. So I like the dive plays.
Yeah, very good. Now, Cameron, you're a senior?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us a little bit about kind of your progression. Have you always been a running back? Has that been the position you've always played?
Yeah, I played running back since kindergarten and Mighty Mites.
Very good. Going into that game, did you have a good feeling?
Yeah, we worked very hard that week, so I was thinking that we could come away with the win this week.
And I don't often get to, especially now with what I'm doing on the scoreboard show at night, get out and see games, but I was getting text messages about both teams in that game, that how hard both teams were playing, and being that rivalry game, that had to make it so much more special.
Yeah, it was a back and forth all game. It was touchdown for touchdown, and I realized that if they're going to keep scoring, that we had to keep scoring too.
Now, going back to your freshman year, if you could go back right now, the 2022 Cameron Harris could go back to that 2018 freshman and give him some advice. What advice would you give yourself if you could go back, knowing what you know now here as the regular season has come to an end in your senior year?
I would tell him to lift more weight so he can be stronger and faster. I'll definitely tell him to run track, because I didn't run track none of my years, and if I ran track, I'd be way faster, I feel like. So, yeah, I'll tell him to run track.
So that's advice you give those freshmen right now.
Yeah.
Now, being a senior, do you have plans to continue your football career, your athletic career?
Yeah, I want to go play college football.
Any particular area of study?
I don't know yet. I'm still looking.
Let's just say, what do you do? What are you doing to kind of get prepared for a game? I know you've got a game tonight. What are you doing mentally and physically to kind of get your mind and your body ready?
I just focus up in the locker room. I like to listen to music so I can focus up and I can lock in for the game.
Very good. What happens? Say you break the huddle. Are you a no huddle offense?
For the most part, we are, yeah, guy.
So Cameron, let's say you line up in your position. What are you looking for defensively? Are you trying to find the safety? You're trying to find the Sam linebacker, the defensive end, and it may depend on the play that's being called. Where does your eyes automatically go when you're looking at the defense?
My eyes goes to the safety, because I pass the linebackers pretty easily. So it's just me and the safety, and I try to beat them and score a touchdown.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, hey, Cameron, again, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations on being named the Athlete of the Week by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
Coach, you got a big district game tonight. What are you guys going to have to do to come out on top tonight?
Well, I think the game plan's got to be, similar to what it was last week, Guy. We got to feed this young man the ball here. He's got to get a lot of touches tonight. Republic's been very good on both offense and defense, so I think it's going to be a combination of trying to keep them off the field offensively, which I know has been a lot of what they do as well. They had some, watching their film against Nixa, they had a lot of long, sustained drives that, kept Nixa's explosive offense off the field. And not that we're anywhere, on par with necessarily Nixa right now, but we've got to be able to get them off the field in certain situations, on third down situations, fourth down situations. And then conversely, we've got to be able to convert those situations for ourselves and also try and keep ourselves out of, long down and distance situations so that we can give Cam the ball and let him do what he does best.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, again, I appreciate you getting this set up. And I know it's, challenging now with the time during the postseason, but thank you for being generous with your time. And Cameron, good luck tonight, and we hope to visit with you in the future.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, anytime, Guy. Anytime we can get, more publicity and more coverage for our young men here. They deserve it. They've been working really hard.
You bet. Anytime you let us know, we'll get her done.
Yep.
Hey, you're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And now, a word from our studio sponsor.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Beach Bug. Hey, welcome back to the Pizza Ranch studio here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you, as always, by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Liuna, Labor's Local 663, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, and the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. The segment brought to you by Burgess and Associates, and we go north to Mid-Buchanan High School and head football coach Aaron Fritz. Coach Fritz, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having us.
First off, you got kind of an early start there in your district. You guys played last night. Tell us a little bit about that contest. You took on a good polo team, but handled them pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't think we played our best, but that's kind of what you get here in district time. Teams are very prepared. They're ready to go. And it's not like a team we've never played before. We've had a history of playing them in the playoffs. So they knew a lot about us. We knew a lot about them. And it was really tight early on. But as the game kind of wore on, I felt like we started playing better, especially after halftime. And we did a nice job of finishing the game and kind of pulling away at the end.
Outstanding. And, at this time of the year, everyone's got their bumps and their bruises. But did you come out last night relatively healthy?
Yeah, about as healthy as we can be right now. So that's a big positive.
Very good. Well, young man sitting next to you, Xavier Arumbula, I will get that right. I apologize. I practiced that before we went on. Still messed it up, but had a big night a week ago. Tell us a little bit about his night.
Yeah, he did a nice job. He'll be the first one to tell you his teammates did a really good job too and made him successful. But started off the game with a punt return. We got another stop. He threw a touchdown from 65 yards away. We got the ball back. He had another big punt return and then scored on a running play. And then after that, I think he had a 100-yard pick six after that. So all these things kind of happened back to back to start the game. And We were up really big in the first quarter, so all those awesome things he did basically happened in the first quarter, and then he didn't play from there on. And if he did, he was just there handing the ball off. So he did a nice job.
Well, Xavier, first off, on behalf of Chevrolet and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being selected as an Athlete of the Week. A huge night for you.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.
Tell us a little bit about that night from your perspective.
I think we played good. We took a tough loss the week before, and we were really looking forward to coming out and playing hard. And they played hard too, but we just got the job done.
So a lot of this happens in the first quarter. Well, the first touchdown was a punt return?
Yes.
So your punt return is a quarterback and a safety as well.
Yeah.
All right. Which do you have a preference? Which do you enjoy the most?
Probably safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been quarterback? How long have you been playing these positions?
This is my first year at quarterback. I played running back before. I played corner before, and yeah, that's my first year at quarterback though.
Tell us a little bit about the punt return. That may be the most difficult position in football. To be able to be looking up at a ball coming down and you've got 11 guys running at you. Tell us a little bit about how you kind of get prepared for that position.
Well, yeah, I was just back there. The ball bounced a couple of times. My team got in front and blocked. I pressed the middle and then bounced it outside and just bursted from there. My team did a good job of blocking, giving me a good gap to run through, and I did good. Yeah.
Do you have maybe a favorite play that when it comes into the huddle, and you don't have to tell me what it is. Don't tell me what it is. I don't want to break any rules here. But are there plays that you're lobbying, Coach? Hey, how about calling this?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple things that I like going to in different times of the game, for sure.
Now tell us a little bit, because you guys played early. You played a district game last night. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts coming out of that first round of districts.
I think we did pretty good. We have a lot to learn from, and we're going to practice and get a lot better, and we're just ready for next week.
Are you in favor of playing on Thursday night where you get that Friday night off where you can go watch a game?
Yeah, it was definitely new. I like it because we can go watch a game tonight, but yeah, I definitely liked it. It kind of had a playoff. It was kind of like the playoffs. I liked it.
Well, a lot of times when you play on Thursday, you may be the only game in town. So you increase your gate a little bit and get a little bit more fans there when you have to split them up among the schools there around you.
Yeah, there was a lot of people watching.
Yeah. Take us back to the touchdown pass. What play was that, and how far was it? 65 yards, I think Coach said.
Yeah, I think it was just a short out route that we called that we've been working on for a while, and he was just open, so I hit it, and then Clancy did a good job of scoring, and we did a good job of blocking on the perimeter, and we just did pretty good.
Now going into week 11, between now and next Thursday or Friday, whenever it is you play again, what are you doing to kind of get prepared? I mean, are you watching a lot of film? Are you looking at playbooks? Are you looking at scouting reports?
Yeah, watching a lot of film and looking at what we did wrong and just getting better at it, putting in new plays, working on blocking, catching the ball, throwing the ball, stuff like that, just getting better every day.
Again, we're visiting with our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week, Xavier Arumbula from Mid-Buchanan. And Xavier, are you a senior or a junior?
A senior.
You're a senior.
Yeah.
So what plans, if any, do you have for next year? Are you going to continue your athletic career?
Yeah, I want to play football in college for sure.
Very good. Well, if 2022 Xavier could go back and give that freshman in 2018 some advice, what would you tell your freshman self?
Confidence is key for sure in football and really any sport. Confidence for sure, and working every day to get better. Don't take any practices. Don't take advantage of any practices, and don't just go hard all the time. And weight room is key too.
Very good. Well, once again, Xavier, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, the Missouri Sports Network, and Chevrolet, congratulations on being named the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Coach, what are you doing between now and next Friday?
We're going to practice today, this afternoon, kind of when we're done here, get the kids a lift, go out and practice and kind of talk about some things that we want to correct from last night. And then us coaches will be up here all weekend working. And when we come back Monday with the kids after school, we're going to hopefully get better and clean up some of the mistakes. And I assume we're going to be playing North Platte again, so that'll be a huge game for us. And luckily we'll get to host it here. So we're going to have to be ready. And I know our kids are going to be focused and do a lot of the things that we need to do to improve.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, I appreciate you guys being generous with your time here and in the playoff season. And we look forward to Quarterback Club next Thursday there at Pizza Ranch in St. Joe.
Looking forward to it, man. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented, as always, by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And keep it right here at the Missouri Sports Network.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented, as always, by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Liuna, Labor's Local 663, and the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. And to that end, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week segment here as we go down to Joplin High School and head Eagles coach, Curtis Jasper. Coach Jasper, thanks for your time this morning.
Absolutely. Appreciate the coverage.
Coach, just a tremendous evening, a state record evening with the Neosho Wildcats. And tell us a little bit about Quinn Renfro and his evening.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a big night, over 300 yards rushing and 8 TDs. Obviously was our bell cow Friday night, and just kind of the way the game developed. And Neosho's got a pretty prolific offense, and they were able to put up points, and we were able to rely on Quinn to answer the call every time we had an offensive possession.
Coach, and as you go in at halftime, it's still a relatively close game, and it was close throughout. What changes or remarks did you have at halftime there as you come out in the second half?
Well, obviously we made a couple mistakes in that first half. Otherwise, we feel like there'd probably be a little bit more of a breathing room at that point in time. So we just wanted to clear up any mistakes, make sure we were good to go. And, we knew we were successful running the ball in the first half, mixed in the pass, but we knew what they were giving us. We were going to take advantage of it. We were getting the ball first coming out at halftime. We wanted to make sure we executed on that drive, which we did. And then, defensively, we, pressed on the receivers more in the second half, which made a big difference. And we just executed well in the second half.
And Quinn, first off, congratulations on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Athlete of the Week on a record-breaking evening for certain. But do you have any idea when you looked at the game plan that you might get that many opportunities?
Going into the game, I never try to predict my stats or never try to predict how many times I'm going to score. I just play my hardest. I just run the ball, do what I'm supposed to do my job, and I happened to get all those opportunities, and I took advantage of them.
And 36 carries, I believe, 314 yards and 8 touchdowns. Do you have like a favorite play now that, hey, what coach needs to call? Are you lobbying on the sideline? Hey, coach, we need to call this. I scored 8 touchdowns the other night.
So actually, we just put it in a play this last week, and it was where my lineman Dontrell, he's blocking for me on a motion. And, we went 4 for 4 on that in the red zone. So that definitely has to be my favorite play. There's not much I have to do when you have a big boy like Dontrell blocking in front of you.
Did you have any idea as the game was going on, the yards that you were piling up?
To be honest, no, I had no idea. The only thing I was thinking is when I was going into halftime, it was 28-28, and I didn't want to leave the regular season with a loss. So I was more worried about just the winning the game and all that.
Did you have any idea how many touchdowns you'd score?
Yeah, I definitely. I at halftime I was at 4 touchdowns, I believe, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I mean, I'm pretty high up there. Like this could be a pretty crazy game, but yeah, once I was at I think it was 6 or 7, I realized that was Isaiah Davis's previous record, and so I needed one more to break his, and I was like, dang, this is crazy to be this close to that.
Did you make him aware of that?
No, I haven't texted him yet. He was playing North Dakota State that weekend, so I was wanting him to be focused for the game. So I'm definitely gonna have to let him know soon. I definitely have to let him know.
How did you recover from that? And I've asked running backs this a long time. You carry the ball 30 or 40 times, and you think, oh my goodness, and I get the same response. Hey, the ball isn't heavy. It's easy to carry. It's not heavy. I'm out there anyway. But what do you do to recover after that?
I mean, here at Joplin on Saturdays, we just have a great recovery program. I mean, we have good trainers, and we do yoga and we do specific workouts that just really help our body recover. So recovery usually isn't a problem here. I mean, it's as good as it can get. And I was back Monday running sprints, ready to go for right back this week.
As you go into your Week 10 district game, what are you guys going to have to do? What do you feel like your responsibility is if you're going to come out on top?
I mean, I feel like if everybody plays their part, everybody plays hard every single play. There's really no stopping us. I mean, we have a whole bunch of great athletes. And, our coaching is amazing. So if we stick to the plan, stick to the script, I feel like, that's the key to success right there.
You bet. Now, Quinn, you're just a junior?
Yep. Yes, sir.
You're a junior. Outstanding. Well, Quinn, once again, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations on being a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thanks so much.
Coach Jasper, going in here to Week 10, tell us a little bit about your preparation and what you feel like team-wise you're going to have to do to come out on top.
Yeah, obviously, Ray-Pec's a very quality club. We played them 2 years ago in the district semifinals when they went on to win state. So we're familiar with them. Plus, we do some things in the summer up there. And so we understand, what they have with their dynamic receivers. They have a great group of running backs as well. Their quarterback does a great job. So we know we got our work cut out for us, but, we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Coach, let's say I open up the paper or go to scoreboardguy.net after the game and you guys have won the game. What is one or two stats that you're going to point at and say, this is why we won? This is what we have to do, whether it's turnovers or penalties or anything.
No, definitely. We've had a great year as far as not very many penalties except for last week. So we got to get back to what, on what we've done execution wise, low number of penalties. We got to make sure we take care of the football. But really, I think, and maybe it's because I'm a line guy, I don't know, but the physicality up front, if we're more physical than they are on the offensive defensive lines, then I feel good. Saturday morning's paper is gonna look good to us.
Outstanding. Well, Coach Jasper, again, I appreciate you setting this up and making yourselves available here. I know it's a very busy time with the postseason going on, and but we greatly appreciate you being generous with your time.
Well, we appreciate the coverage.
And Curtis again, and Quinn, again, congratulations.
Thanks so much.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. And we are live in the Pizza Ranch studio with locations in Joplin and Springfield, and we'll see you soon.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevy.
Hey, folks, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And once again, we go to Webster Groves High School in St. Louis, and we bring in the statesman and head basketball coach, Justin Mathis. And, Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you. Always glad to be on, and appreciate all you guys do for high school sports in Missouri.
Coach, 25-5 this year. Talk a little bit about coming into this season, what you had to replace due to graduation. As we talked about a little bit off air, you've got a number of players playing at UMSL that are still alive here in the college basketball ranks. But talk about what you had to replace coming into this season.
Yeah, coming into the season, we'd lost a McDonald's All-American nominee, 2 times All-State player, and Isaiah Purvey, who you had mentioned is playing with the Tritons now, and they've got a big one in the NCAA D2 tournament tonight. So he was a big part of our offense, and also just provided us size and rebounding on the interior. So I think going into the summer, between losing him and Charlie Pearl and a couple other shooters, and Holmes Hansen, who's playing at Westminster, it was, to me, the question was a lot about rebounding and, could we guard on the interior against bigger teams that we're going to see at the Class 5 and Class 6 level? Could we, hold our own in the paint? And I think our guys have responded, and it's nobody has replaced Isaiah's numbers individually, but we've what we call gang rebounding. We've been pretty successful at, and a lot of guys averaging 5, 6, 7 in that area. So. Replacing Purvey was not an easy task, and it took us a while to adjust. There was a time in December when we were sitting at 4-3, and had lost 2 of our last 3 by double digits. And I know the schedule we had lined up, and you were kind of thinking, what did we get ourselves into? But I think this team's improved as much as any that I've coached, and I think I knew we had potential, but there was a time when 25-5 in the Final Four seemed long ways away. So these guys have really bought into practicing more consistently, more competitively, and made progress a little bit every day.
You've won winners of 8 in a row right now as you head into the Final Four. What are some things you feel like right now you're doing really well as a team, or even on an individual basis?
And just having different guys step up on any given night. I've got Brady Chappelle on my left shoulder here. We're going against Sykeston last Saturday, and they've got Trey Sadler in the middle, who is every bit of 7 foot, Division I big. And I thought Brady really held his own defensively, held him in single digits, and went for 19 and double-digit rebounds offensively. So I thought he really stepped up on Saturday. Aiden Sanders is on my other shoulder in the district championship against Vianney. They were in a really good rhythm offensively, and Aiden came off the bench and gave us 8 points off the bench that I thought was at a critical junction when they were on a run. And, I mentioned Brady did a good job on Saturday, but he did pick up 2 fouls early in the game. And Eddie Peplo, who's the other one on my right shoulder, came in and battled with the big. So anytime you're going to make a run with like we are, you're going to have different guys step up on different nights, and just, it takes what it takes in March. It's a pass or fail test, and our guys have answered the bell. And, obviously our point guard Atkinson is playing at a very, very high level, and he was dynamite, especially in the second half on Saturday. So when you've got your point guard playing that well and other guys that are stepping up when their number's called, it's been a good combination for us here late in the season.
And one of the better games over the weekend, including the Final Four games and all the quarterfinal games, was your game with Sykeston, 71-70. Take us down the last maybe 90 seconds of that game and what that was like.
I think I'd rather talk about the first half. The Statesmen were a little better in the first half, but you're playing Sykeston, an unbelievable team who's had a great season. They've got start 5 seniors, bring a few more off the bench, very veteran squad, and you're trying to knock them out on their home court, and they're not going to lay down and go down quietly. And so they made a heck of a run. They've had success with the pressure defense all year, and they turned it up a notch in the fourth quarter on us, and our 10-point lead going in the fourth got erased pretty quickly. But you mentioned the last 90 seconds. I thought we executed much better the last 90 seconds to close out the game. Yeah. They got a bucket to go up one. Atkinson got in transition, went coast to coast, split. I don't know, lost track of about the fourth defender that he split and went by and got a layup to put us back on top. Got a timeout. We had fouls to give, and our guys executed using those really well. We were able to keep it out of PJ's hands and force some sideline out of bounds and eventually force a turnover. So, both me and Sykeston were out of timeouts, and our guys were able to use the fouls we had to give wisely and get the ball in bounds and all those, little things that, don't always show up on the stat sheet, but our guys did it in those last 90 seconds, and it was the difference in moving on.
Now you've got three young men there beside you. Start to over your left shoulder there and introduce him, and we'll visit with them.
All right, we've got Brady Schupeltz. He's number 30 for us. Starts at the forward position, and he's headed to Grinnell University next year to continue his basketball career.
Brady, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibility are on this team.
Like Coach said, we lack size after losing Isaiah last year, so I've kind of been stepping in, guarding the other team's big men every game. I shoot the ball a lot from three at a pretty high clip. So I think I do a good job at stretching out the other team's bigs. And then I like to say I crash the boards pretty much every time on defense and offense. So good for rebounding.
Do you like the physicality of defending someone?
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Which is probably not something I would have said Brady was known for earlier in his career as an underclassman, but he's really, embraced that role, bought into it. Him and Eddie are the options we have there, and they've done a tremendous job of it.
Brady, tell us a little bit about how you kind of get prepared for a game. Let's see, you've got a game tomorrow at 6 p.m. What are you doing like today and tomorrow to kind of get mentally and physically prepared? Are you drinking lots of water? Are you watching lots of film, going through things in your mind? What's the next 24 hours going to be like for you?
I like to eat a lot, drink a lot of water, of course. And I like to get a lift in, like a light lift in with a lot of stretching, get my body ready. I get shots up in the morning, trying to make sure my shot's right before the game. Make sure I get enough sleep, things like that.
Coming into this season, when you looked at your schedule and the opponents that you had, maybe the tournaments, was there any particular opponent or maybe a tournament that you were looking very forward to? Maybe it's a rivalry game. Maybe it's, someone on the other team. Were there games you really look forward to?
Probably Kirkwood and Marquette, because Kirkwood, it's our big rivalry. Everyone knows that. And I'm a senior. It's my last time playing against them. And then Marquette, because I just have a lot of friends on Marquette.
And you, Coach, talked about you've made your decision for next year. Tell us about that from your standpoint and what went into that decision.
Well, I knew I was going to go for like the high academic D3 route because, student comes first, and Grinnell's a really good school. And then I had some options in the Northeast on the coast, and I had like some in Ohio, but what it really came down to, I have a lot of family in Iowa, so that played a big role. And then the coaches seemed really cool, and I got along well with the players.
Any particular area of study?
I'm undecided. I might try out economics, but that'll probably change.
Yeah, you're way smarter than I am. Hey, my major in college was eligibility. All my classes. Very good. Well, Brady, hey, congratulations on being part of the team of the week, and good luck over the weekend. Go get the biggest trophy, and we'll do this all over again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Coach. Who's over your right shoulder?
My right shoulder is a senior guard, Aiden Sanders.
Aiden, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, I'm kind of like the sixth man, seventh man off the bench. Come in a lot to mainly play defense, guard the other team's best guard, quickest player, kind of a couple shots on one map there.
Tell us who's been your toughest assignment defensively this year? Who's someone that kind of gave you fits?
I would say in our first game against Aaron Rowe, because he's just really quick and very twitchy. Yeah, I would say he's probably the toughest player I had to guard.
So you draw the toughest assignment when you come into the game, as I understand it.
Yeah, usually.
Oh, that's good. That's good. If I'm playing against you and you come here guarding me, I'm going to feel good. What are you looking forward to about this trip to the Final Four? What is something that you're looking forward to?
I mean, obviously getting a ring, but other than that, I'm just happy I get to spend my last few games playing with my teammates, and so I'm just gonna enjoy that while I still have it.
What do you do to get prepared for a game? Do you eat a lot of food like Brady, or what do you do?
Not as much. But I'll eat a few meals. I don't really like to eat too much on game day. Kind of, it doesn't make me feel right. So I'll get like a meal or two in, breakfast, lunch, and then I'll eat like a little quick snack. Make sure I get a lot of water in me and a good night's sleep the night before.
If you could go back this season and play one game over again, maybe you had a lot of fun in the game, you won that game, or maybe it's a game that got away from you, or maybe you felt like you should have won. What game would you like to just go back and play and have that experience again?
I would say probably the Vianney game, because that was the most fun game I've probably played in my high school career, just because who we were playing against, and that was my highest scoring game in my career. So it was just a lot of fun scoring and winning against Vianney.
That's just a week ago. You're not going back very far.
We've faced Vianney 4 times in the playoffs in the last every year these guys' high school career, as we've seen Vianney, and we split it 2-2 with Mr. Walsh. So if you want to talk about all the elements of a great high school rivalry, public rivalry, 10 minutes apart, games sell out. It was it was just unbelievable high school basketball game. They played well, we played well. We were fortunate to get the last run in.
Very good. Well, hey, congratulations. Best of luck, and hey, safe travels on the way up there. And Coach, who do we have to your far right now?
Eddie Peplow, senior guard forward for us, and like I said, gave us big minutes on Saturday, trying to battle inside. One of our best rebounders that we have.
You say Heath?
Eddie Peplow.
Eddie, I'm sorry. Eddie, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities on this team.
I go in and I go in and fill in any roles that really needed to be filled. I feel like I help in multiple scenarios defensively. I can guard a quick guard. I can guard the bigs when we need when we lack in size compared to other teams.
What do you do to kind of get prepared? I mean, do you watch film? I mean, obviously you do, but film, water, what are you doing to kind of get prepared for tomorrow's game?
Practices before, we watch film with the team. We go over scout. We go over who we're going to be guarding and like the little things to dial in what we need to do the next day. And days before games, I make sure I get lots of sleep. I eat a lot the night before. I like to get a good breakfast in, lots of eggs, protein, things like that.
Very good. Now you're a senior as well?
Yes.
What plans, if any, have you made for next year?
I don't know. I don't think I'll be playing later at the next level, but yeah.
It's about school.
Oh, school. I'm not sure. I'm undecided for my major too.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Mizzou.
There we go.
Mizzou. All right. Now, is that family, or are you just a fan?
Just a fan. I got friends there. I'm rooming with my teammate Aiden. And my manager.
Now, Eddie's brother is a Jayhawk, so it's we got one in the family that figured it out.
Uh-oh. Okay, very good. Well, hey, Eddie, hey, congratulations, and best of luck. Safe travels going up.
Thank you.
Coach Bathis, again, we are visiting with Webster Grove Statesman basketball and head coach Justin Mathis. And, Coach, you've got Westminster Christian Academy, 6 p.m., What do you know about them? And I see you've played them already once this year, and it was a nail biter as well.
Yeah, played them last year in a really good game in Coaches vs. Cancer, and played them this year. Third game in 3 days. Both of us had been kind of upset the night before. So not a, I think both of us were probably more focused on ourselves at the time. And I don't think they played us probably as scout specific as they will in the Final Four with everything on the line, obviously. But tremendous team, very, very well coached. Coach Ribble, have as much respect for as anybody in the state. His teams are always very fundamental, very disciplined, tough, hard-nosed. And they're playing their best basketball at the right time. I mentioned our sophomore guard, Atkinson, and we think is playing as well as anybody at state. But JD Powers, their sophomore guard, is right there with them, averaging about 27 a game since the playoffs started. He's been unreal. And they just do a great job of taking care of the basketball. They don't take bad shots. So they're able to oftentimes control the tempo. And you just have to be fundamental and match their level of discipline and execution. So it's a tremendous challenge, which is what it's always going to be, what it should be in the Final Four. But yeah, there's some familiarity there.
Coach, when the score comes into a scoreboard guy in the Missouri Sports Network tomorrow, and then you guys have come out on top, what's one or two stats that you're going to be able to point to and say, this is why we won the game? Is it turnovers, rebounds, time of possession?
I think rebound margin is going to be especially important. I think you have two teams that, while a lot of people look at us and Westminster and think they lack size, I think we both take pride in the glass, and I think whoever's able to impose their will there will have success. And then, like you said, the turnover margin. Just the way they take care of the basketball, and when you look at their assist to turnover ratios, individually and as a team, they're very, very impressive. And you can't allow them, if you have 12 turnovers and they have 6 and they win the glass too, all of a sudden you're talking about them getting 10 more field goal attempts in a game. And that's a very hard thing to overcome. So I think you hit it on the nail. The turnover margin in the glass will go a long way towards deciding the game.
Outstanding. Coach, again, thank you so much for your time today. And gentlemen, for everybody in the room that's on screen, well, everybody in the room can do it as well, but just by signaling it, by raising your hand, I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelt? Very good. All right. No tickets going out to this group. Coach, thank you so much. Hey, safe travels. God bless.
I appreciate it, guy. Thank you.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports High School Game Day on the Missouri Sports Network. Back after these messages.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Laborers Local 663, Shelter Insurance Agents, Grant Baker and Aurora, Sean Holman in Lockwood. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Doak Propane, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, and Great Southern Bank. And welcome to our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week segment. We go down to Dora High School and Dora Falcon head coach Cole Garnett. Coach Garnett, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Coach, before we visit with our Athlete of the Week, tell us a little bit about the Falcons and the season up to this point.
Well, we've had a good season. We've had some real competitive games close. We've lost some real close games. I think we're 16-8 at the moment. We only have one Class 2 loss on the year to Alton, who got us at the night. They played really well. Credit goes to them. Everybody else we've lost to has been Class 3. Got to go up to Kansas City for the inaugural 12 Courts of Christmas ordeal they had up there, where we were able to defeat Class 3 Osho and Class 4 Odessa. And, being one of the smallest Class 2s in the state, is certainly, even if they're not a 23-0 Class 5 team, if you're able to go beat a Class 5 and a Class 4 team when their enrollment in one grade is probably that of our entire high school enrollment, it's a big ordeal. And the girls have had a great season so far, and we hope to finish strong.
Going back that 12 Courts of Christmas, obviously a great time to get away, kind of bond as a team, and then face some folks that you probably wouldn't normally see. What advantage do you draw from that?
I took away that, we're not going to have 5 or 6 games to film on them. We don't play Neosho every single year, so they don't know us. We don't know them all that well. You're able to get some film from coaches all around the state with Huddle nowadays, so you're at least able to scout a little bit. But when you have a player like Cassidy here, who has scored so many points in her career, every coach around here knows who they've got to guard, and they may game plan for a week and a half to 2 weeks. When you're able to go play someone that doesn't know a whole lot about you, it takes a little bit of pressure off, because they're coming into it just kind of like you are. They're trying to play their best without necessarily over-planning on the part of, you play back-to-back days. You've just got to go play well. You can't prep for 3 or 4 days for one team and then 3 or 4 days for the next team. But I think the girls really enjoyed the trip. We had a whole lot of fun. They got to go Christmas shopping up there in Kansas City and, see a bunch of lights and stuff. So it was a good team trip for sure.
And Coach, and again, we're visiting with Dora Falcon head coach Cole Garnett. Tell just a little bit about your background. How long have you been at Dora? Where'd you go to high school, college, and how'd you end up there?
Well, I went to high school in Valley Springs, Arkansas, just south of the Missouri border a little ways. Ended up going to college at Arkansas State in Jonesboro. And when I graduated from there, I got on at Neelyville, which was just across the Missouri border again. Me and my wife went from there. We went up to Dixon for a few years, up by Rolla. We had our first kid, and from there to any kind of family where we were living, it was about a 6-hour drive. So my wife looked at me and said, "Hey, I want to be closer." Okay. We started looking for jobs. She got on at West Plains, and so we moved down here. I actually went to Gainesville for a year, and after that year, driving from West Plains to Gainesville on 160 every day, it was just a little much when you have a young kid at home. So Dora had a job come open, and they're about 30 minutes closer than Gainesville. I think it takes me 20 minutes to get to work every day. So I applied, got on here. This is my actual 3rd year at Dora, but it's only my 2nd year as basketball coach. The first year I did softball only. I was assistant softball coach, and so, when the girls' basketball job came open and they asked me if I wanted it, I was like, man, that's perfect. I already know all the girls because of softball. I can just step right in. Hopefully they know me well enough to where our relationship's already kind of there from softball, and it'll be a nice transition.
Now, Cassidy Hamilton alongside our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week, 49 points the other night, including apparently a buzzer beater and also her 2,500th point in that game. Tell us a little bit about Cassidy and what makes her special.
Well, she is a luxury to have for sure on the playing floor. Players that score 2,500 points in their career only come around once in a lifetime at certain schools. And for coaches, I don't know many coaches that have multiple 2,500 point scores in their careers either. With her on the floor, we're almost unpressable because we can get her the ball, and being our point guard, she's a good enough ball handler. We can usually break the press. So that takes away a lot of what some teams are able to do that make them so successful. And then offensively, there was a game here a while back where we were struggling. We weren't playing well. She'd got and one and got into the free throw line. And the next possession, another one of her teammates were shooting free throws. And I called her over to me and said, hey, we need you right now. Put us on your back. Let's get in a rhythm. Carry us for a little bit until we can kind of get into it. And she did. And when you've got a player that can do that, like, hey, we need a bucket right now. Let's run a play. Let's run a set. Get to the lane. Get some free throws. When you've got a player that can do that for you, it's a game changer, because there's a lot of teams, that you might have a lot of shooters, you might have some girls that can score, but do you have a playmaker? And that's what I tell all the coaches I talk to about her. She is a playmaker. If you've got someone open, she's going to find them. If you need a bucket, she's going to go get you one. She can get to the free throw line. I think right now, I don't have it in front of me, but I think she's averaging 7 assists per game. And so, not only is she averaging 30 points per game, she's averaging 7 assists per game and getting her teammates open. And we've worked for, 2 years now. The more you get your teammates open, the more you're going to be open. And I think that's paying off big time this year with her numbers.
Well, Cassidy, welcome to the show.
Hi.
And on behalf of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations being named Athlete of the Week. Let's go back first to talk about these games. One is 49 points. Is that a personal career high for you?
No, actually, 55 is my career high, and then we went into overtime and ended up losing that game by 6. But yeah, so that's not my high. But
All right. Well, you win this one. You win it at the buzzer. You score your 2,500th point. Going into the game, did you know where you were points wise in your career? Did you know that was attainable?
I knew it was attainable. I wasn't sure exactly how many I needed, but I wasn't really worried about that, because that game we started out really bad. Actually, I remember looking at the scoreboard and it was 40-19 in the first half, and I was like, "How did it get like that?" But we were only down 17 at halftime, and we ended up coming back in just the last minutes of the game. So yeah.
So you're down 21. You cut it to 17 at half. Tell us what happened in that second half, and were the bulk of your points in the second half?
Most of them were, I think.
I was at 16.
I think she was at 16 or 17 at halftime.
Yeah.
And so in the second half, we changed our defense a little bit. We tried to do some different stuff. Yeah, most of them were in the second half. She definitely, she would have put up 30 or so in the second half. It looks like around 30 in the second half. But we changed our defense. We had a nice talk at halftime. And, I told them it's not going to be easy. But, there's no such thing as a 20-point shot. 2 points here, 2 points there. They actually cut it to 10 to start the fourth quarter. And I remember looking at the scoreboard one time. We were down 7 points with 1 minute, 27 seconds left. And I thought, we've got to figure something out. And, when the defense has to pay so much attention to her, we had a couple other girls make some free throws and I think we made 2 layups from assists from her in that last minute and a half. And, when you're running 2 or 3 girls at her, that opens someone up somewhere, and she's really good at finding them.
All right. Well, Cassidy, take us through point number 2,500. What point of the game did that occur?
I'm pretty sure it happened in the third quarter. Yeah, and in the game, Coach Bennett said he was gonna stop the game and recognize it, but we were kind of starting to actually play good at that point, so we wanted to stay in a rhythm. So I wasn't even worried about it then. I was just worried about the game. I think it was a good idea that he didn't call timeout at that time.
Yeah, probably a good idea to put that one in your pocket. Take us through that last minute and a half, and then throughout into that last shot to win it.
Well, I wasn't even sure that we were that close. I look up at the scoreboard and it's 60-64, and I was like, okay, we can do this. We're right in it. And I don't know. I'm not sure how we tied it up, but we were tied and we had the ball with 20 seconds, and he called timeout, and we were trying to run a play and it didn't work. And so we were kind of just passing around up top, and it was 6 seconds. So I just drove in there and shot a little floater, and I hoped it went in.
And it went in.
Yes.
Very good. Well, take us back. You're a senior this year. Take us back to your freshman year. How has your game kind of changed since you were a freshman? Is it more attacking the basket or from the outside or getting to the free throw? And how's your game changed?
When I was freshman, sophomore, I tended to settle more for threes than attacking, and I think I got a lot better last year and this year at just getting to the basket, and I think that's what I'm doing really well right now, and just also creating open shots for my teammates as well.
If you could go back over all the games in your career, is there one game you'd like to go back and play again? And maybe it's the one you had 49 points in, or maybe it's a game that got away from you.
I would definitely want to go back to sectionals last year because we were in that game and I actually ended up spraining my ankle in the second quarter, and I had to go out for like, I don't know, 2 minutes, and they ended up making a little run and we just never got back in it. So that I think about that like every day. Actually, I want to go back to that game.
All right. What games on your schedule coming up, and you're going into you may have seeded for districts, or it's probably right around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, we seeded. We got the 1 seed.
So you're the 1 seed. Who maybe Seymour or Kabul? Who's the 2 seed?
Kabul is the 2.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to see them this year?
We played and we played them in the Mountain Grove tournament, and we beat them twice.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Cassidy, again, on behalf of Chevaliers of the Ozarks, congratulations on 49 points is big in a game, and of course the 2,500 career points is outstanding. What do you have planned for next year, if any plans?
I do plan on continuing my basketball career somewhere. I haven't made a decision yet, so I'm not 100% sure where I'm going, but I will know pretty soon.
All right. Any particular area of study?
I'm not exactly sure. Probably somewhere in education or sports management, something like that.
Very good. Well, again, Cassidy, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Garnett, thanks so much for setting this up, and hopefully as we get into districts, we'll get to do this again and kind of talk about the district run for the Door Falcons.
I hope we get to talk again. Thanks for having us.
Hey, you bet. Door Falcon head coach Cole Garnett and Chevaliers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week Cassie Hamilton here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Keep it right here, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be right here at Missouri Sports Network tomorrow.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, hello again. Hello once again. And welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, brought to you by Lyona Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri, and reminding us to drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. We go to Valley Park High School and welcome in head coach of Valley Park soccer program, Coach Tom Probst, and our Chevaliers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week, Will Geary. Coach Probst, thanks for helping set this up today.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting us on, Guy.
You bet. Coach, here, the regular season has all but come to an end as we prepare here for districts. Kind of tell us a little bit about Valley Park soccer this season. Obviously, a lot of success, probably due in part to the gentleman sitting next to you. But tell us, just kind of put a bow on your season at Valley Park and tell us about districts and when those begin.
Sure. We open up next Tuesday at St. Mary's. And then if we advance, the championship will be next Thursday at St. Mary's, 6 o'clock. We have had a really successful season, and that comes off the heels of another successful season. Last year we had 21 wins. This year we're at 20. But I've had the privileged to coach Will and his sort of cohort of friends that have played together in athletics here in Valley Park for a long time. And together they make quite the crew. But the last few years, we've sort of come up short when we get to this point in the season. And we've run into teams that have either finished, I think, second or third in the state tournament, and we couldn't get through them in districts. So we are viewing these districts as the next step for this team. We've had tons of success. We've beaten St. Mary's in the regular season, and so we want to keep our the pedal to the metal, so to speak.
Coach, what do you feel like right now at this point of the season you're doing really well as a team?
We're being more aggressive with the ball. We're possessing, and our team ultimately is physical, and we possess the ball well. So when we own possession, we win the game because I know we're going to be physical and I know we're going to work hard. That's sort of the team identity.
Yeah, you guys obviously located in the St. Louis area. Tell us a little bit about whether or not you're in a conference, and if so, how did that kind of shape up this year?
We are in a conference. It's a mixture. It's mostly public schools, smaller schools. Bayless is probably the largest one in it. And we are going to split the conference championship with Bayless. We beat them at their place. They beat us at ours, each by a goal. So it was close.
Again, visiting with Valley Park head soccer coach Tom Probst, and just a little bit about your background. How long have you been there, and the head soccer coach? Where did you go to high school, college, and how did you end up at Valley Park?
Sure. Well, it's kind of it's a story. I'm not from here. I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I spent a little bit of time in St. Louis because my aunt lives here. I spent a year and a half with her when I went to. I moved here and I lived with her, and I actually played for Ladue Horton Watkins High School. And then I moved away, and I stayed away from St. Louis until I met my wife in 2013, and she was from St. Louis, so I moved back. I've been here since 2014. This is my ninth year coaching boys high school soccer, and I coached the girls for 6 years as well. So I've put together quite a few seasons of varsity soccer.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, you've got a young man sitting beside you there who's a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Tell us a little bit about Will Geary.
Will Geary, first thing you need to know is he plays all sports, and he's a competitor. One of the things I really appreciate about Will is even though soccer is not his primary sport, every year he gets better. Every year he works on something. Every year he focuses on something he can get better at, and he does, and then it shows up on the field. And so, when I look back over his career, it is, he hit the ground running, he scored 30 goals as a freshman. But a lot of times players like that sort of take a step back, and the next year he gets, two guys marking him in every game. Everybody knows who he is, and the production dips. I've had that happen before. But Will, he scored more, and then the following year, even more. And then this year, he's just unstoppable at times.
And to that end, he sets the all-time career Misha scoring record, I believe, at 149 goals in his career. Will, congratulations on behalf of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks and the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Yeah, thank you.
Will, did you know you were getting close to that record?
I kind of heard our AD talking about it a little bit, but I wasn't really aware how close.
Yeah. And Will, I am a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. So my second question is, do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes, sir, I do.
Very good. Very good. Tell us about the record-breaking goal, and did you realize that it was the record-breaking goal?
I did not realize it, but it just happened kind of like a lot of our other goals this season. Good team play down the field, and I think we actually got a foul on the play and then a good free kick in, and then just kind of put it on my foot and it went in.
Do you remember your very first goal?
Yes, I do.
Who and where?
We were playing at Bishop DeBerg in a preseason tournament, and I was a freshman, and then our senior, Clayton Schumacher, he was one of the best soccer players I've ever played with. He did his thing, dribbled through everybody, and then crossed it in, and I put it in the back of the net.
What got you involved in soccer? Was it friends? Was it family? Was it a coach? What initially got you involved in playing soccer?
I think initially it was probably my dad. He grew up playing soccer. He played for Rosary High School. And he just our whole family's revolved around sports. So from first or second grade, I think I started playing at Fenton Athletic Association just with a couple friends that I met along the way, and just grew up playing from there, and then came to soccer camps here in the summer, and then just kept playing through high school.
And Coach Probst mentioned that you're a multi-sport athlete. How does soccer help you? And I know it does, but kind of give the viewers an idea of how soccer helps you in the other sports.
And I think it's important if you can play multiple sports, you should try to do that. Keeps you competitive all year round. So maybe you're not getting as many swings or shots up or whatever, but you're still staying competitive. And then obviously soccer, a foot sport, it's going to help your footwork and improve everything in basketball and baseball, which I play both. And moving around, and then also just working together as a team, which just helping create chemistry with other guys. I think that's important for every sport.
Now, Will, if you could, and I've asked this question several times, we've had 10,000 athletes on. If you could get in a time machine, you're a senior. If you could get in a time machine and go back to that Will Geary who was in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade and give yourself some advice based on what you know right now as a senior, what advice would you go back and tell yourself, hey, let's work on this or work on this? And it may be weight room. It may be humbleness. It may be what advice would you give yourself knowing what you know right now as a senior?
I would say just keep going, keep having fun with the sports, keep playing all of them, get in the weight room, lift a couple weights, get as strong as you can, and just enjoy and take in every moment that you can.
As you look back on your soccer career, and I've asked this quite a few times as well, if you could go back and play one match, get on the pitch one more time for one match that you played in the past, maybe you had such a tremendous time playing it, maybe it was the record breaker, or it may have been a match that got away from you that hey man, we should have won this. I'd like to go back and play this again. Are there matches that you think, as you look back on your career, that man, I'd like to go back and do that again?
Yeah, for sure. I think one that really sticks out is our district final last year. I think we lost 1 or 2-0. But it was close all game. I think I know we all gave our best, but I think if we could just have that game back, we could maybe have a different result. But I don't know. I think playing out there with everybody, it was good atmosphere.
Very good. What do you do to kind of get prepared? Let's say today is match day. What are you doing throughout the day to get prepared, whether it be mentally or physically? And does it differ from a way that you get prepared for other sports?
I don't think it really differs from other sports, but getting up, make sure you're eating breakfast, getting a good lunch in, not doing anything stupid in school, trying to be the best PE athlete of all time or anything. Just kind of taking it easy, make sure you get all your schoolwork done and show up to the field, stretch out, get ready to go.
Outstanding. Again, we're visiting with Will Geary, our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Will, I understand you've made your decision with regards to next year and you're continuing your academic athletic career. Tell us a little bit about that decision, if you're comfortable.
Yes, sir. So I've kind of been raised around baseball, and that's kind of been my thing growing up. So I've played a lot more baseball than soccer and basketball. So I think the recruiting process for me really started, like coaches started coming out sophomore summer, watching me play, and then August 1st of junior year, I got a lot of calls. And Lindenwood just stuck out to me. I built a relationship with the coaching staff, and as a fit for me and for my family, I think it was the best fit, close to home. And just the relationship that I built with the coaches as well as the business school is pretty good there. So, and I think that's what I'm going to go into.
Business school. Is there a family background in business, or is that just something you enjoy?
I think that's just what I enjoy right now.
Very good. Well, that's where the money is. So
yeah.
Very good. Well, once again, Will, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being named an Athlete of the Week and the state record.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
Coach Probst, again, thank you so much for setting this up. I know it's tough in the middle of a school day to get recordings in, and thank your athletic director for getting back to me. And, sometimes people don't know who Scoreboard Guy is or Missouri Sports Network, but I appreciate you being generous with your time and sharing your high school student athlete with us.
Perfect. You're welcome. Thank you.
You bet. Hey, you're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow, and we'll be right back.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.